This is the Arken EPL-4, and today we're going to test this puppy out at a mile. Today's video I'm going to do a little bit different than I normally do them, and what I'm going to do is we'll do the shooting portion first, and once we've done the shooting portion, I'm going to take the optic back home, we'll pull it off of the rifle, I'll go over all of the specs for you guys, and you can decide whether or not this optic is right for your needs. So before we get going, I'll show you real quick the rifle package that we'll be shooting today. It's a 6mm Arc AR-15, and I'll show you that real quick right now. Alright, so we have obviously the Arken EPL-4. I am using a trigger cam, and for the film through portion of this, I do want to let you guys know that the clarity that you see through the trigger cam is never going to be as good as what I'm actually seeing through the optic. I'm just trying to give you the best representation that I possibly can of what to expect without actually handing you over the optic. But this is the rifle platform. I'm using a 22-inch Shaw H-bar profile barrel. We've got just a pretty generic muzzle brake on there, MDT Oryx Bipod, a couple of MDT weights, my design for handguard, and then we are using a XLR Industries TR2 tactical buttstock. So that is the platform we'll be shooting. Let's get going. All right, we're going to start with a 1mm wind hold and adjust from there. Get the record going. Alright. So I'm at 27.5 mils elevation, 1mm wind hold. Impact, first round. Impact. Impact. Fucking double tap that shit. And no call on that guy. I really hope I got that on camera, because that was a 1 mile double tap. So I shot a whopping total of 5 rounds today. 3 impacts, one just cold bore first round impact, and then we did a follow-up double tap. I followed up with 2 more shots and I missed those. But I'm not going to waste any more ammo. We're going to go back and discuss this optic. Before I do that, I am gonna pull it off when I get home, and we will go over all of the specs and stuff on this. I'm going to tell you where I got this idea from. If you guys haven't seen my Zulus video at 3,100 yards, check that out. Typically, I have been a huge fan of Christmas tree style reticles. And one thing that I found when I was experimenting with the Zulus at, and we're talking, 1.76 miles, which is extremely long ways, 3,100 yards, they don't have the VPR reticle available on the Zulus, so I use the VHR reticle. And I found that I really liked that VHR reticle for extreme long range, because with a clean reticle, it is extremely easy to see your misses. So if you guys haven't seen that video, I encourage you to go check it out. But man, what a fantastic day. Literally 5 rounds, and we got 3 on target out of the first 5 rounds cold bore. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this portion of the video up for today. Get back so that I can go over all of the specs on this optic for you, and you can decide whether or not this is right for you. I will leave a link for it in the description if you are inclined to pick one of these up, and the links do help support the channel. But wow, what a fantastic shooting day. Cheap, inexpensive, and accomplished our goal. I'm really happy with the double tap. So hopefully that's on camera, and hopefully both of those impacted. We'll know better with the GoPro, which is set up down at the target, and we'll see that in the video. But anyway, we'll see you guys on the next piece of this, which will be taking the optic off and going over the specs. All right, so here's a quick look at our impacts for today. We got this one, that one, and that one. This guy was already on here, and before I come out again, we'll repaint this target so we will know what's clean and what's not. But there's our 3 impacts. Hopefully that's picked up on the GoPro. All right, so we'll take a quick look at this target. So these are the 3 impacts from today. This guy was already on there. And if we look at the spread on that, we're at roughly 13 inches on the first and second. The third is about 13.5 inches, almost 14 inches. So we've got about a 14-inch group. And then spread on those 2 is roughly 6 inches. I would imagine that the 2 that I missed were probably, just judging by this, right off of the right edge of the target. So anyway, that's our target. All right, let's talk about this scope for a minute, and you can decide whether or not it's right for you. So the EPL-4, Arken designed this to kind of bridge the gap between a long-range precision scope like this EP5 and a lightweight hunting scope. So what they did is they lightened it up. This has a 30mm main tube. It comes in at about 23.7 ounces without the mount or rings. You guys saw the clarity at a mile, which is, for an optic in this price point, outstanding in my opinion. And the way they achieve that is through using Japanese ELD glass. So what is ELD glass, and why do we care? ELD stands for extra low dispersion glass, and what that does is it reduces chromatic aberration, which is the prism effect that you get as light passes through lenses. So with the 30mm main tube, you have a little bit less adjustment than the EP5. Comes in at 20 mils or 68 minutes on this 6-24 by 50. So you have a nice, smooth, fast focus eyepiece. I don't know if you guys can see that. Very audible, tactile clicks on the turrets, with an extremely easy to set 0 stop, and I will show you that in just a minute. All right, how do you set the 0 stop on the EPL-4? Well, it's really easy. You're going to have 3 set screws that go around the top of the turret cap. And what we're going to do is we're going to loosen those 3 set screws, which I've already done. What that's going to do is that's going to allow that cap to spin freely. Once you've done that, we're going to line up this diamond with this diamond. Once that's lined up, just like so, you can take and snug up these 3 set screws. So we're going to do that. You don't want to go too tight on these guys. Just nice and snug. You don't want to strip those. But let me get this last one here. Just like so. And then once we have that, we have our turret engaging again now. So what I'm going to do is you have another set screw, a silver set screw, and a brass set screw. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this down until it bottoms out, and then you back it off just a touch. So I'm going to get it to bottom out here, just like so. And I'm going to back it off about 1/4 of a turn. And then we want to snug up this brass set screw onto the silver set screw. And our 0 stop is now set. So what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to spin the turret and take us back down to 0, just like that. You've got a 50mm bell, and as an option, you can get the adjustable throw lever for this, a bubble level, which I highly recommend. It's extremely important that you're level when you're shooting out to distance. And then you have rings and mounts that you can get with this as well. So this one, I'm using a 20 MOA cantilever style mount. I have found that all of the Arken rings and mounts are very good, very, very good, especially at the price point. I haven't had to lap any of them. I haven't had any issues whatsoever with the rings or mounts. So one thing that is cool about them is right on the side here, I don't know if you guys can see this, it gives you the torque specs, and then it gives you the torque specs on the top. They do this with the rings as well. So your 18 inch-pounds on the rings, the portion that goes onto the tube, and 30 inch-pounds on the portion that goes onto your mount. So another feature with this is it is illuminated, and unfortunately my battery is dead. I've been using this for over 1.5 years now, and so I can't show you that, but I will show you that in a subsequent video so that you guys can see it. But you have 6 different brightness settings, and then we also have a side parallax. The parallax on this is a little bit different than on the EP5. It adjusts all the way down to 10 and goes from 10 to infinity. Very smooth, very easy to use. One thing that is cool with that is if you're going to use that on something like a rim fire or something that you're going to be shooting at closer ranges, you can adjust all the way down to 10 yards and go out to infinity. Now you guys saw how that worked at 1 mile. I was very pleased with the parallax taking it out that far. One thing that is another piece that is critical when you're shooting long range and extreme long range like we were in the video is that parallax has to be perfect. So as you're moving your head back and forth, if you don't have a perfect body position, that parallax can throw your shot off by quite a bit, up to 1/4 mil to 1/2 mil. These do come in 2 different reticle styles. The one that I was using during the shooting portion is the VHR reticle, which stands for Variable Hunter Reticle. You can also get the Christmas tree style reticle, which is the VPR reticle. So you can get either one with this optic. I wish that Arken had that option with the EP5, because I'd really like to see a clean reticle in the 7 by 30 or 7 to 35 by 56. So another thing that is a little bit different from the EP5 version is you have a capped windage turret, which I find to be very nice. Easy to use, works exactly the same way, and you can cap it. You don't have to worry about that getting bumped when you're out in the field and moving your windage hold. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, guys. So let me know in the comments, guys, what did you think of this optic? Is this something that you would use to bridge the gap between a long-range precision rifle scope like this EP5 and a lightweight hunting scope? Do you like the price point on it? I didn't really speak on the price point. They come in at around $365 in the US currently, which I think is a fantastic price for this scope. Let me know if there are other optics that you would like to see me review. I'm always going to give you an honest opinion and an honest review. So let me know if there's other optics that you guys want to see me review. If you like this type of content, please subscribe, hit the like button, share it around. It really helps the channel. I will leave a link for this. I do believe in this optic, so I will leave a link for it. I only leave links for stuff that I use and will continue to use. And if you do use links, they do help to support the channel. Thanks a ton for coming out to the range with me today. God bless and have a great day.